difference in understanding and different kinds of schools of thoughts come up, and there is different of opinions. No, life is like this, should be like this, life is ought to be like this. In this way, many way, we differ from each other, and but really speaking, philosophy means the vision. The vision. Vision of what? Life. Lifestyle. The lifestyle means not only human beings. There are other lives also. Invisible lives also. Life means movement. So, even a planet has got its life. Movement is called life. And if it is if it is a being, that means it has become something. What do you mean by becoming? Okay, we shall start today this. And we are discussing some important point in this text. It is a very beautiful text with stories, different stories. And all the stories, after telling the storyteller will go on analyzing bit by bit, word by word, how it is, what does it mean. So in that way, it becomes very easy to understand the secrets, hidden secrets, how we understand something, how our mind works, how our intellect works, body, physical body, how it is built up, what for, what is the purpose, what is the ingredient, why, what, everything. Who made it, why, when, for what, for how long. All these questions arise. So, logical, scientifical, and proof with supported from various angles, so that it cannot be denied. So this way we discuss it. शुरू कर दें. हरि ओम. ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः. ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैव उपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः. ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शननिश्चभु कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञात्यात्मने नमः. स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दसाम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः ॐ वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्रितं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय सद्गुरु भगवान की जय सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय शब्द ब्रह्म की जय सरस्वती महारानी की जय जोग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। क्या हुआ, नहीं आ रहा है? इंटरनेट चला गया।
इंटरनेट तो है, ये खुल नहीं रहा है गूगल मीट। एक बार कनेक्ट हुआ फिर चला गया।
देखो भाई, आप देखो यार।
मेरा चल रहा है, इसमें सब लोग जुड़े हुए मेरे मोबाइल में।
हाँ,
बस ये लैपटॉप नहीं जुड़ा है, कंप्यूटर नहीं जुड़ा है। आप क्लास चलिए।
हाँ। आज हम लोग हिंदी अंग्रेजी दोनों में started from beginning because for you. See, before starting anything, we have to take permission. From whom? From the owner. If you come here, I am the owner of the ashram, you have to ask me, may I come in, sir? If you enter into the classroom, then the teacher will be sitting, the students will be sitting. May I come in, sir? Isn't it? This is the etiquette. So we have to take permission. Permission means glorifying and praying and remembering, representing, then we are allowed. The code of conduct says, you should behave in this way that others should not be disturbed. That is called your right. Everybody has its right. Everyone has his own right, isn't it? Something. Because I am a being, I have some right. That right should be for everyone, not only for you. If you have some right, I have the same right. Everyone has same right. That means you are limited in your boundary. You cannot enter my boundary. So, that is called freedom. That is called freedom, not to disturb others. Freedom means not to disturb others. You may do anything in your territory, in your limits, your boundary. You are the owner, you are the boss there. So, you have got no right over me. That's how the code of conduct starts. Everybody has some right, and everybody has the same right as the other. And what is a being? ये जो जीव हम कहते हैं, ये जीव किसको कहते हैं? जीव what is a being? Said, for example, this is a white paper. This is what I was telling yesterday. I am also a magician. This is a white paper, so take it for granted it is all-pervading. Whiteness is all-pervading. Okay? So if this is all-pervading means unlimited. Unlimited. Whiteness is unlimited. If you limit by some way, if you have limited it some way or other, then it has become something. Let it be anything, but it has become. This is called being. Logically. इसको कहते हैं जीव, जो जीता है. जीता मतलब हुआ है, जो हुआ है, जीता है. जीना मतलब जिसका एक जीवन है. जीवन मतलब चलना फिरना. बस ये इतना सीमित हुआ, मतलब वो भी एक जो नहीं था वो हुआ, इसलिए उसका चलनशीलता तो शुरू हो गया वहीं से. चाहे वो सजीव हो चाहे निर्जीव हो. सजीव निर्जीव बाद में हम सोचते हैं, पर जीव तो है ना. जीव क्यों है? इसका एक रूप है. एंड इट विल हैव ए फॉर्म and it will have a name. The thing which is unlimited, it has got no name. And which is limited, it will have to have a name so that it will be differentiated from the unlimited. That is called being. It has become something. It has taken a form. And that form is formed. That's how it is called being. It has become something. And truly speaking, the unlimited has been limited. That's the meaning of it. असीम जो है वो सीमा में आबद्ध हो गया. यही है जीवन. So, if this is logically, nobody can deny it. Logically, it is this. Being means this should be the being, because it has become something which was not become. Now it has become. So, which was not there means it had no form, no name. When it is formed, then it will have a name also. So, how is the name and form? How are they related? See, this is an object. Object. say whiteness or white paper or something which is now we have taken that unlimited. It is something which we call unlimited. We cannot say unlimited to nothing. It is something. And what is that? Because there is no way to define it, because it is unlimited. If you define it, that will be limited. Definition is a limitation. Some quality, something that is limited. I am a human being. If I say I am a human being, what is human being? Define it. It is a species. It is a type of family. Some particular forms with particular way of movements and particular way of movements are grouped as human beings. And those movements may be of different kinds, which is visible to grossly visible. That means movement of the body, and body means a totality. Movement of the form, any way, any side, any direction, movement. And that movement will be gross, subtle. Subtle movements are in human beings seen as mental movement, mental thoughts, or intellectual, or that also will be classified again. Subtle, how subtle, what way of subtleness. And gross means speech will be also gross, visible or audible. And gross movements, say 5 senses of action, we say, the legs, hands, etc., which do some kind of movements that we call gross actions. And subtle actions, they are called subtler senses, senses of knowledge, we say it. That is eyes, ears, nose, or tongue, or skin, touch. So in this way, 5 should be clear. Knowledge means information. Information of what? Information of contact. Contact of one with the other. There will be many. If one has become, then many should be become. Because if one has right, then right will be to, it will belong to everyone. Many is attached with one. When one is there, many have to be there. 2, 3, 4. So if one has got right, then others will have right. So in this way, when we go on visualizing all these, every word we speak, we understand or we use in our life, then this is how it should be logical. Then coming to our human body, human being, some senses are responsible for collecting informations of other beings. Some informations by contact. And that contact is possible by the senses of knowledge, eyes, ears, nose, etc. Five senses. That way we collect information, that is called our knowledge, which is haphazard, which is momentary, because everything is, whatever is seen, whatever is granted for true, everything is changing. Everybody will accept it. Everything changes. That is the law of nature where we are in. So, this is how some subtle movements of the action, which we call the action, and movement is action, and it will have reaction also. In this way, mental, those actions are not visible by gross senses. These gross senses cannot collect information about it because they are subtle, gross, subtle, and subtle most. This we see everywhere. Say, earth is gross, water is subtler than the earth, air is subtler than the water, and sky is, ether is subtler than air. Air we can touch, we cannot touch the sky. So in this way, when we go on analyzing with logic, with supports, it should be agreeable to everyone. Then only it is right. You cannot talk something which others don't agree. Because you have right, so that others have also right. In this way, when something is formed, and formation means it has moved, unlimited has become limited. That's how it has become something which was not there. And this is how we call it a manifestation. It was unmanifested before, now it has been manifested. That also means unlimited has become limited. इसमें फिर कहीं चला गया ये, हैं?
नेट नहीं चल रहा है, इंटरनेट नहीं चल
अच्छा अच्छा, हाँ,
बीच में थोड़ा आया।
ये तो चल रहा है ना।
जी
अच्छा हुआ अंग्रेज में हमारा चलेगा। Now the human beings and other type of beings, when it is formed, then something has some kind of formation. Human beings also, of different, some is tall, some is fat, some is thin, some is 6 feet, some is 4 feet, dwarfs. So formation will have differences, and we have to agree, everybody has to agree, difference is the law of nature. Everywhere there is difference. That's how the change takes place. Because one is different from the other, so it is changed. Change means difference. Difference means gap between two. Gap between two. And that is also divisibility. Gap means, two means, difference means divisibility. One becomes two, because two cannot come fast. First we have to start with one. Whatever you do, the whole mathematics from the very beginning, and every way of calculation or imagination starts with one. That cannot be denied. So one when is divided, then only it becomes two. Two divides four, then it goes on multiplying. Multiplication is the law of nature. I am one, I want to become 2, 4, 16. That is the nature's nature, law of nature, what we observe from nature. In this way, if this is formed, then it is called being. It will have a form. Without form, it cannot be formed. Form means some location or some, how to define form? Form is, this is the best way to define, unlimited becomes limited. That is formation. Bigger becomes smaller, limited. Then only it can be formed. The same way, otherwise also, the smaller gets on multiplying or spreading or accumulating, then it is also formation. Formation. Smaller becomes bigger, or bigger becomes smaller. That is called formation, accumulation, gathering, or deduction or addition. This way we can understand. There is no other language to explain it. This is how formation. When it is formed, it is called a being, because it has become. And these beings are of two kinds. Say, one is ever moving, other is never moving. It is formed, but it will never move. Unlimited has become limited, not to move again once it is done. So in this way, inert beings and living beings we have classified in this way. of course, the formation or creation. Formation means creation. The unlimited, unknown, unseen, unmanifested, when manifests or forms or gets created, that is called creation. So, how it is? One is when we go on investigating, the great scientists in the time of yore, the first question comes this, before eating, drinking, talking, doing anything. First question, who am I? Where from? What for? The formation means it has a question. What for? Where from? How long? Then comes a time and space. Unlimited space when becomes limited, then that also becomes formation. In this way, go on thinking. So, we come to something which was not known to, means not, say, the investigator or the scientist or the questioner. It was not known to them. So go on thinking, go on investigating, and our thoughts are only the way to investigate, to analyze, to compare and do something. Thoughts are the only way. Then thoughts become gross, then speech, and then the actions, different kinds of actions. What is then thought? If it is annihilated by thought itself, because there is no other way, we have come to the thought level. But thought level, who is analyzing? Thoughts only. I means my thoughts. The thoughts when are gross, then they are dominated by the subtler ones. And the subtler ones know the grosser ones. So in this way, because thoughts only knows the thoughts, by the thoughts only we can understand something or do something. So thoughts are only the way, and the thought process is, we have named it as mind. And the mind is gross, subtle, subtler, subtlemost, subtler than the subtlemost. It goes on in that way, and in different labels, different phases, it is named differently. So, mind, intellect is subtler than the mind. Intellect controls the mind, and intellect becomes subtler and goes on. So in this way, when these thought waves work, mind works, then in the end we reach, there is a balanced state where these thoughts cannot work. How long you can think, how far you can think. A motion means there is a halt also, stoppage also. It cannot go on eternally, and of course you may say physics law. If you give a momentum to a pendulum in vacuum, it will go on oscillating for eternity. That is true. But who will give the momentum? Who will give the momentum? That must move. That must change. Then only it can give a momentum. So in this way it becomes so complicated. So finally we can come, best we can come to a standstill position where nothing can be done, nothing can be thought, nothing can be formed. Then that is called equilibrium or balanced state or harmony, where nothing is known. And when it gets little imbalanced, then everything starts. That we call it vibration. That we call in different words, different terms. Some say it energy, some say it sound, same thing. Some say it imbalanced state. Some say it to be nature, nature of the harmony, to be disharmony. Nature is to be nature of harmony, is to be disharmony. That's how the vibration or energy or some imbalanced state can be seen, or else it is impossible. The equilibrium will be always at stable harmony. When it becomes disbalanced, then that is called waves, or we can call it energy, and that will go on. That will go on. That is how we have come to pendulum. If a momentum starts, then it will go on. That we call as nature, energy, or power, or we have come to name it as a sound, because without sound we cannot do anything. That is the last refuge. We have to surrender to sound, because sound is the only medium to communicate. And what is sound? That is also same thing. Vibration we call radio waves, or any kind of waves, electric waves, or any kind of waves, that is called energy, or prana also, our air also vibratory system. And in this way, when you go on and on till the absolute standstill position, then from there all kinds of logics and differences of opinions and everything starts. Formation, beings of different kinds and everything In that way, that is called creation. Creation means something is getting created. Formation means forms, becoming, it has been being. So in this way, same thing is named in different terms. And this language also we have to see how the language starts. Language is nothing but sound. Whatever ordinarily, commonly we know, language means sound. If I create some vibration by my mouth, those vibrations reach your ear, then it becomes audible to you. That process in physics, whatever we see, that is not newly known to our modern scientists. The old scientists, they have investigated so minutely. Sound means waves, vibration, spandan we say, spandan. And the first vibration in the absolute eternal equilibrium, that how can you term it? Because we use sound, then we have to make term it as sound. Sound is nothing but a term, and that is energy. Call it as you like, call any other terms as you like. Make it energy or power or sound or electric or magnet or radio, or call it as you like. But basically it is imbalanced state. The balanced state has become imbalanced. That's all. So now, this imbalanceness has no limit. No limit. And we call it nature also, because there is no other word to say. And this sound, when it is connected with some form, here there is no sound, no form, nothing here. Nothing. Absolute balance state, infinite and unlimited. When it is become finite, has been formed, unlimited become limited, then these limitations are called also vibrations. By some imbalanced state only it can be formed, or else not. That imbalancedness is named as differently, we understand differently by different terms. So now, this formation, the vibration or the formation, this is in the very beginning it was one, then it becomes 2, 4, then those 4 also have to mingle with each other to multiply. Then only it can multiply. Mingling means being divided, that is also formation. Divisibility also multiplicity. When you divide, then it will multiply. and then it will have differences, then it will have relationships in different ways, different directions, relationships, then same thing go on. They go on mingling with each other and forming different things again. So if we say the first vibration is sound, it seems to be more logical, because by sound only we have been habituated to deal with, to contact each other, so that sound when becomes accumulated, it gets formed, it becomes some objects. That is, as far as the modern scientists have gone, the formation, different types of atoms when get together, then it is formed as a compound object, organic chemistry. Just as H2O, two particles of two particle means atoms, they must get together with another one, oxygen and hydrogen, then they form something which is named as water. In this way, the sound goes on vibrating. Call it sound, call it energy, call it whatever you like. No objection. But it is the process. Process we must understand. Then in that way they go on accumulating, forming and gathering and becoming, and then different types of beings and different types of contact. In this way, this creation has become so complicated. Somewhere some movements are known to the other objects, that is called relationship or informations. So that way we say some are living beings, some are non-living beings. Then goes on classifying different types of classifications. And this is how the whole creation starts. And in the very beginning, what was there, whatever is there, where our mind cannot reach, that is the beginning. So that must be the absolute one, which is to be the truth, unchanging one. Which changes, that has to be not truth, because it is changing. Definition of truth is which is never changing. Which changes, that cannot be truth. So in this way, in the very beginning, doing whatever you like, you must take permission from that absolute. That is what we do here. That is the code of conduct, that is efficacy, that should be, or else you will not be in real track. Your motives, your achievements, your process, whatever you want to achieve, that will be not real. That will not be easy or regularized. It will be scattered away. because he is the boss. Everything starts from there. That is our code of conduct. When you go to, say, you have come from America to India, you have to take permission from India. If Indian goes to America, he has to take permission from there. That is our code of conduct everywhere. If you want to enter some jungle, there also you have to take permission. If you want to enter to the water, there also you should take permission. To that extent we go. If you inhale, you have to take permission from the air. So in that way we have different authorities. We have to take permission from them. Is it not? Should it not be like that? Can you come to India without India government's permission? This is our way of life. So this is called code of conduct, etiquette. So everywhere we have to take permission, whether it is written, verbally or mentally or any way, you should have permission. Mentally also. That's how we salute the absolute truth, which has become in many ways manifested. So everywhere we want guidance. So the great guide is called Guru, the absolute teacher. From the very beginning we have been guided. Guidance means how? Guidance. One wave guides the other wave. It prompts it to move in particular way. That is called guidance. And since very beginning when there is imbalance, it has been started. So Gurudom, that means guidance, has been started from the very beginning. Then we have to salute our Guru, take permission. Grossly, we start from the very beginning, and in between also we have to take permission. Say you have entered the ashram, okay? You have to take permission from the watchman and the gatekeepers. Then you want to go to the office, there will be gateman. There also you have to take a permission. Then from the office you have to go to the kitchen or dining hall. There also you have to take permission. Say, this should be as we think. And it is, of course, grossly it. We do it, knowingly or unknowingly. In this way, we have to salute, we have to take permission, we have to pray different authorities. First authority is absolute one, and then the Guru the guide, and then we come to the authority as text. Somebody has accumulated these thoughts in the form of a book or a text, or the thoughts are accumulated. in some language or something, it has become an authority. We have to take permission from this also. In this way, in the very beginning, we pray different identities. Identities are the absolute God, all pervading and beginning, the absolute beginning, which is the authority, first authority, and which controls everything, which is manifested as everything. So, without the permission, you are nowhere. That is, we call it pray. Glorifying or feeling His presence and taking permission. That's how prayer should be done in the beginning. Prayer means glorifying or feeling the presence or taking the permission. Same thing. आज इसका अर्थ सुनेंगे, जो जतः सर्वाणि भूतानि, जो हर रोज हम प्रार्थना करते हैं, कभी कभी इसको एक्सप्लेन करते हैं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल we start with Om. Om means the primary, with some logics, with some supports. When the Absolute wants to manifest, wants means we use such words. When it manifests, yes, that starts with vibration, imbalanceness, that is called, say, whatever we call nature or vibrations, or we call it sometimes qualities. And they are in the very beginning. Just as see, in the water, if the balanced water is water, then when it becomes imbalanced, we call it ripples or waves or tides or different names we give. Same thing, imbalanced state. So the very beginning, when it starts, then we have named it as some sound. That sound is Sanskrit, in Hindi, in Indian language we call it Om. But anywhere in the nature, this Om, it tallies anywhere in the universe. See, hear the sound of the river, murmuring sound of the whistling sound of the dry leaves in the jungle, or the sound of those insects in the jungle, or the sound of air, or quake, anywhere, any sound, you will hear the Om in it. Minutely, if you want to hear it. So, it is named as Om. It is not authority of any language or anybody. It is universal. and that is in different aspects. Just as three-dimension picture we see, once from one angle it looks like something, from different angle it looks like different. In that way, when it vibrates, it should vibrate in all directions. That's how the first becomes two, then becomes three dimensions. And those three dimensions are nothing but imbalanced state of the balanced state. So we named it as, in three syllables, the Om is known as three-syllabled one sound. Oh, we started from that. So, whatever we do, we start with Om. That should be the beginning. So, when you chant Om, you have taken permission from the Absolute. You remember Him and you are allowed to go on. Start with. That's how Om. And then comes Ganesh, means all these vibratory systems, they are qualified, divided and classified. Gana. So Gana is the authority or the head of all those classes. That is called Ganesh. So there will be different gatekeepers in different gates, but one will be the controller. He is called Ganesh. So we have to salute Ganesh first. We have to remember him also. To permit everything to start. Ganeshaya Namah. Sri means relationship, wealth. So, then we come to the Absolute and we pray it as Adi Aharagame, Bhavantyahārāgame, Yata Sarvāni Bhūtāni Pratibhanti Sthitani Cha. Sare Bhut, सारे जीव भूत व्यक्त होते हैं, दिखाई देते हैं, थोड़ा देर के लिए दिखाई देते हैं। उपशमम जानती, जिससे मैं फिर लय हो जाता है। We salute that authority, where from all these beings, get some beings, and they remain for some time as beings, and they dissolve in that authority to be no being anymore. This process goes on eternally. Creations again and again, just as in the water, how many bubbles are created every moment? They get created, they remain for some time, and they burst into the water only. They are brought out from the water, they remain in the water, they remain as water, and they disappear as water. So the bubbles or the ripples or the small waves, they are called the beings of the water, formation of the water. So in that way, we salute that absolute wherefrom all these beings get their origin. They remain for some time as something and they disappear in that source again and again. We salute that authority, that absolute truth. Yatah sarvani bhutani bhavan pratibhanti sthitani cha yatrev upasamam janti tasmai satyatmane namaha. Tasmai satyatmane namaha. That is the absolute truth. We salute that truth in the very beginning. And saluting means not only by verbal sound, it should be in the thought also and with feeling also. You should be one with it, then only it is real taking permission. If I don't see you, I don't meet you, how can I take permission from you? Seeing is physically also, mentally also, by letter also, be different communication method, relationship. Without being related, we cannot take permission. Relation by many ways, any way you like. There should be some relationship, connection, connectivity. Then only you are allowed. Jnata jnanam tatha jneyam drashta darsana eva cha. क्रिया हेतु कर्ता हेतु क्रिया यस्मिन् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः. Then we salute the other aspect of the same, which is seen, visible as triads. All our behavior, our relationship are by triads only. Triads means by three aspects. Three aspects means one should be the doer, then it should do something, and some object should be done. Three aspects: the doer, doing process, and done object. Just as the seer, seeing process, and the seen object. In this way, connectivity is possible. Relationship is possible. In this relative world, we have to relate each other, be related with each other. This is the process. The triads. One will have relationship. The process should be of the relationship, any method, and the object should be one which is related with. Then only the relationship is possible. Connectivity is possible. Say we connect one thing with the other by something. That is the process. If one point is connected with the other point, the connecting rod somewhere or some thread or something. So in these three aspects, we salute those that authority wherefrom all these triads are get originated, remain for something, and they disappear in that three aspects, triads. That's how the whole world is. I am seeing you, you are seeing me, then only connection is there, seeing method. You are the seer, I am the seen, or I am the seer, you are the seen object. Then only, and in between the process, in this way the whole world exists and does everything, or else nothing can be possible. Everything will be stand still only. So we salute the authority, the absolute truth wherefrom all these triads get origin, and they remain as triads for sometimes the activities goes on, and then they disappear in that absolute truth. And then the other way of saluting, taking permission or relationship. You see, when one is silent, there is no relationship. When it moves, then only relationship with each other, isn't it? Movement should be there. And in what way that movement? Then comes directions. In what directions? In one direction or in different directions? Then if there is a spot somewhere, if it wants to relate, it has to relate in 360 degree into 360 into 360 to the power 360 to the power infinity. That is called all directions. Isn't it? In one plane, say, sun is there, and all these planets, they move around the sun. Do they go round in one level, in one plane? In different planes. So one level will have angle with the other level. One planet will have angle of movement with the other orbit of the planet. So this way 360 degree to the power 360 to the power infinity, in that way from all angles. And that is possible when one single atom starts exposing in all directions. Then only it is possible. And that is the method of creation also. And that's how we imagine there was absolutely one silence, and that silence blasted. There comes the first sound, and that is vibration, and energy comes out that scatters out in all directions. It is just like the fountain. So, in that way the creation is possible and creation is created. The absolute silence, which is smaller than the smallest center, when it blasts, when it explodes, then everything starts being created. That's how क्या हुआ वो? क्या थर्ड श्लोक है? अजातः स्फुरन्ति सर्वाणि भूतानि, स्फुरन्ति। अरे मेरा मन और कहीं चला गया। हाँ, सीकराजस्मात्. Seeker means the absolute atoms. Atoms, seeker, the smallest particles, they are called seeker, and particularly the smallest particle of the water, that is called seeker. Spuranti sikara jasmat, where from all these atoms have been scattered out or projected out in all directions, and formation is possible, and they remain for some time, and again they disappear in that center. We salute that. In this way, three aspects we remember the truth, salute the truth, and thereby we take the permission of it. Then we start. ओहो, अब तो 11 बज चुका है लगभग. And then we salute the absolute Guru. I have told now the guide is the Guru. Fast vibration guides other vibrations, means prompts, means gives a tendency, momentum to move. That is guidance, that is called guide. That is the absolute Guru, teacher. It gives a guidance, a momentum, a push to go on. That is called guidance and teacher. We salute the first teacher and other teachers who have been helpful to guide everyone, to salute them. And then the sound God, because without sound we cannot communicate. We can. This sound is of, you see, is of 4 phases. When the absolute balancedness was there, absolute equilibrium, silence, the kingdom of silence, and the little imbalanceness started, then creation starts. So, the first vibration, that is responsible for other vibrations. So we salute that as the primordial sound, Sabda Brahma, which is all pervading, ever expanding, and ever present everywhere in all conditions. Sound. The play of sound only, play of energy. As per the modern scientists, the old scientists have discovered it since time immemorial. Sound is the God. We salute that sound God. Sabda Brahma we say. And this regulatory system and prompting system, that is also a controlling power, section of the power. The same power, same energy which regulates everything, that we have named as the crooked way of regulating. Crooked way means all round way. It is not in bad sense. Crooked way means in all round sense. Regulating system. That we call as Saraswati in our language. Saraswati. The regulating system, a prompting system, giving a tendency and thereby regulating everything. Creating and stopping, both. Starting and ending also. And regulating in between. So whole system is under her hand. We salute that energy also. Saraswati. And in this way, and that is everything, our life itself. So simply remembering and praying is enough. But then we start because we are not satisfied by little things go on, staring and scratching and finding out something. So in that way, then we call to the authority, Yoga Vasistha. We call it Yoga Vasistha. Yoga means in one word I can give the definition of yoga, the connecting process, communicating process. That's all. Yoga means a communicating process. It is not authority, it is not property of any kind of people or any caste or creed or religion. Yoga is the communicating process. And our old scientists, they have found out the proper, easy, methodical way, skillful ways to communicate. And that's how we are able to communicate by yoga. And Vasistha means there was a great teacher in the time of yore. He expounded everything. He gave it to his disciples, and that is here we discuss on that. From time to time it has been given to generation, and in that way we named it as Yoga of Vasistha. Vasistha means the great teacher who is believed to be immortal being, and yet he is present. Now also he is present in subtle form. To be eternal grossness is not possible. One should be always subtler than the subtlemost. And in that way, the subtlemost being, who is the teacher, the primordial teacher, his name is Yoga Vasistha. And his teaching is called communicating method, so it is a yoga. how to relate with each other, how to relate with the Absolute, how to have contact in different levels of existence. So everything is given by that. And I was telling this sound is in 4 phases. The subtlemost phase is called para, the absolute starting point, para, then pasyanti, little grosser, and still grosser, which we can produce and hear ourselves, but it is inaudible for others. Sometimes you can whisper within, by closing your lips, you can talk to yourself. Don't you feel? Moving the tongue and the teeth, we talk within. That is called just before the manifesting sound, upansu, without opening the lips. When we open the lips, the sound generated in the heart comes slowly by the vocal cord in different phases. It becomes gross by contact of teeth, palate and sides of the mouth with tongue, teeth and lips. Then the sound is produced, audible sound, and then this sound is used for communication. Or else before it, the body language also is there. It can be expressed by body also. This is body language. Many beings, they communicate with each other. Similar beings can communicate with each other. That is the law of nature. The tree can communicate with the other tree. The animals, they communicate with other animals by their way. Ways are different. Sometimes body language, sometimes some different sounds. You see, the cow creates some sound. Ma. The calf understands it. We don't understand. And the owner of the cows, they understand also. Sometimes they create some sound for water, sometimes something for fodder, sometimes they create some kind of sound just as they are in some difficulties, somebody should come and help them. They create different kinds of sounds. Similarly, when investigations are done, you see the honey bees, they have very sophisticated methods of communication by dance, because they have 6 legs and their finer wings. By moving their wings and their legs, that means dance, they communicate with each other. And system is most wonderful system, methodical. In that way, communication we have with similar beings. Birds of same feather gathered together, that's how the saying goes. Human being can communicate with another human being. and the dumps, they can communicate with other dumps. The musicians understand the language of other musicians. They are, you see, what you call rhythms and tones and other things. So in this way, the sound has become the connective method, and that's how the whole world is related with each other. Sound has got different phases. The moment there is a feeling, from there sound starts. And the yogis who can go to that subtlemost level of being, they communicate with different beings. They can talk with, means communicate with even the stones, even they can talk with the water and air. They can communicate with fire also, with sky also. That much subtleness they achieve, and then they can communicate. Communication method is possible by similar identities. Dissimilars cannot communicate with each other. And that's how we start it. Today we have started. Thank you. Tomorrow we shall go on. Hari Om Purnamadaha. In the end also we have to say bye. Thank you. We have to say thank you to them also, from whom we have taken permission. You have allowed us to have communication with you for so long. Thank you. Now we are disconnecting. By disconnection also we are communicated. You cannot be disconnected because you are one among the all. You cannot be disconnected. Can your hand be disconnected from the body? Similarly, we are one in the whole world, related with the whole world, and that awareness should be there, then life becomes pleasant and problemless and easygoing. Those methods are found out by the philosophers who are not just thinkers, they are the absolute thinkers, great scientists. Philosophy goes to the very starting, how the life starts, how the life goes on, how long the evolution process, and the relationship. Of course, our Einstein has given a part of it, the law of relativity, just little part. You are related with innumerable creations in this. So, law of relativity is, of course, it is beautiful and so nice to deal with, to go ahead. It is not the end, it is the starting. Your relationship cannot be unrelated or unconnected, disconnected from the whole universe. Innumerable creations are created every moment, just like the bubbles in the water. They remain for some time. Our long millions of years is just a moment in the universal time. The great time, the absolute time. And there all the relationships. Relationship means everything, creations and delusions, dissolutions, appearing, disappearing, everything, time, space, conditions, situations. Connectivity is known as time also. The great time is nothing but relativity. Space also is called relativity. And all these conditions, situations, differences, changes, everything, when thought over seriously and from the central point of view, then everything is related with each other. We cannot give up one thing to understand the other thing 100% clearly. We have to take everything together, then only the smallest doubt will be clarified. Because everything is related with everything in 360-degree angle. Anyway, tomorrow we shall see. Hari Om. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Sabda Brahma ki jai. Saraswati Maharani ki jai. Yoga Vasistha Bhagavan ki jai. Hari Om.